This video is about simplifying algebraic expressions. Algebraic expressions consist of numbers, variables, operations, and grouping symbols, not equal signs. So there are no equal signs in expressions. For example, 3x minus 4 times y plus 10. Okay? This consists of numbers, like the 3, the 4, and the 10. It consists of variables, x and y. It consists of operations, like multiplication, subtraction, addition. And it consists of grouping symbols, which is those parentheses there. There is no equal sign anywhere in here. When you see an equal sign, it's called an equation. If there's no equal sign in it, it's just an expression, a grouping of numbers and symbols. An expression doesn't have to include all of those operations and symbols and everything else. It could just be as simple as 3x. That's an expression. It consists of a 3 being multiplied by an x. Even just the number 3 is considered to be an expression. It just consists of a number. The parts that are added together in an expression are called terms. So let's say we have the expression 3x minus 4y plus 10. That expression consists of 3 terms. The parts that are added or subtracted together are called terms. So the 3x is a term, the minus 4y is a term, the plus 10 is a term. The 3x and the minus 4y are called variable terms because they have variables in them, the x and the y. The 10 is called a constant term because it is constantly 10. No matter what I change x and y to, a 10 is just going to stay as the number 10. So that would be called a constant term. A number multiplied by a variable is called a coefficient. The coefficients in the example that I just wrote up here are the positive 3, because that's being multiplied by an x, and the negative 4, because that's being multiplied by a y. So the coefficients are just parts of the terms. The coefficient is the number that's sitting right in front of the variable and being multiplied by it. So the 3 and the negative 4 are coefficients. Like terms are terms that have the same variable and the same exponent. So let's write up a long expression here. 3x minus 4y plus 5x plus y minus 6 plus 1. It's a very long expression. Like terms have the same variable and same exponent. So in this expression, the term 3x and the term positive 5x are like terms. They both contain the variable x and the same exponent, which is just a 1, and it's not shown there. The term minus 4y and positive 1y are like terms. And constant terms are also considered like terms. So this negative 6 and this positive 1 are also like terms. Neither one of them has an x or a y attached to it. No variable makes them like terms. To simplify an algebraic expression, combine like terms by adding their coefficients together. So the circles are around the 3x and the 5x. And when I add those coefficients together, it gives me 8x. Combine the minus 4y and the plus 1y. There is a 1 in front of that y to give you a negative 3y. And combine the constant terms, minus 6 and plus 1 is minus 5. And that's the simplified version of the long expression. Some further examples. Example 1 here, I'm looking for like terms. I see a 3p and I see a positive 5p. Notice I'm circling the sign in front of the 5 as well. Positive 3p, positive 5p, when I combine them is 8p. Combine using addition. Negative 2 constant term and a positive 7 constant term. Those can be added together to give me a positive 5. And 8p plus 5 is my simplified final answer. In the second example, I finally have exponents. So I'm looking at the first term, which is a 2x squared. Look for something else that also has an x squared in it. So the positive 2x squared can be combined with the minus 5x squared to give me a negative 3x squared. Notice I'm not changing the squared at all. Then I'm looking at this positive 1x, and that can be combined with this negative 9x to give a negative 8x. And those two things aren't like terms, so I can't combine them together, and that's the simplified final answer. Sometimes simplifying involves distributing first. So distributing means multiply. As you can see in the first example, I have a 4 in front of a parentheses x minus 5. That means that the 4 is being multiplied by the x and the minus 5. So I'm going to start by doing that. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times minus 5 is minus 20. Then I have a negative 3 that's in front of the next set of parentheses. So I'm going to distributing negative 3 times x, which is negative 3x, and negative 3 times 6, which is negative 18. And now I can look at my expression for like terms. So I have 4x and a like term negative 3x. And I combine those coefficients by addition. I get positive 1x. I don't need to show the 1 in front of it. And then I have another pair of like terms, which are the constants, negative 20 and negative 18. When I add two negatives together, it just gives me a greater negative number, so minus 38. And that's the simplified final answer. And then the last example, I'm going to start by distributing this 8 to the d, 8d, and to the f, positive 8f. And then I have a negative in front of parentheses with no number there to distribute, but I know there is an invisible negative 1 there. So what I'm actually distributing is a negative 1. So negative 1 times f is negative 1f, and a negative 1 times minus d is positive d. Remember, a negative times a negative gives us a positive. Look for like terms to combine. 8d and a positive 1d gives me 9d. And the other pair of like terms is a positive 8f and a negative 1f to give me positive 7f. And that's the simplified final answer for that. That is all.